We had a guest on the show a few months ago, and we actually had to call the cops on him here in the restaurant. Can you guess who that is?
Oh, good Lord.
Of course.
Oh, I got a pretty good. I think he actually reported his own arrest to the authorities or to the media, and then attempted to get the tailgating charge upgraded to sodomy. I want to apologize for the behavior of my fellow Louisvillian, Star Maker Bolin, who
I like the way
was,
you took that old joke and reversed it and made it.
You saw what I did there.
Made it
Thank you.
topical, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the guy's lawyer that used to get a sodomy charge reduced to tailgating. But you reversed it. That was good.
I've still got a couple of them up my sleeve, King.
But I wanted to ask about Kenny Bolin. Now, have you guys had a real falling out?
Oh, good Lord. I have not, just because we're old friends and nobody else is really listening by this point. Oh, shut up, Glenn. I know you're listening. I've never knocked Star Maker, and I have a disagreement of a couple of issues. We have, and I've not commented publicly on it, but he blocked me on Twitter. He did that. And
What?
That's what, I remember in the old days in the wrestling industry, in the locker room, if people had trouble behind the scenes, they hit each other with tire irons or cut each other with knives or razor blades. He blocked me on Twitter.
Oh.
We have a disagreement about the intelligence level of his son. He puts it somewhere around
Son.
is somewhere around John Glenn, and I put it somewhere around non-existent.
I thought you were going to say Donald Trump. You would have had there was a good spot, right?
Well, I didn't want to go back to the politics.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've tried. We have differences of opinions of a few things that he fired himself off my podcast on Twitter.
Now, who is his son?
Remember Catbox Bolin? Kid with the big head.
Catbox Bolin.
Well, we named him that when he was a teenager because he was living in Kenny's house in the basement rent free if he emptied the cat box that he slept next to. So he earned on my show the name Catbox Bolin.
I thought maybe you named him that because every time when he was a kid, he played in the sandbox. The cats kept covering him up.
we couldn't be so lucky. But anyway, nevertheless, so I hope that one day Star Maker and I can reconcile our differences as soon as he unblocks me on Twitter and as I mentioned, he fired himself off of my show. He was a frequent guest where I allowed him to perpetrate his various schemes, but he fired himself off my show on Twitter because he got mad at my podcast for telling him that people didn't like hearing his kids on his podcast. And it just spiraled out of control from there.
You made him cry. He was live streaming on Facebook, and you made him cry, legit cry.
I've maintained the thought that he had hired someone to secrete themselves underneath his desk, and they were pushing 10-penny nails into his toes.
Oh God!
At the time of that, in order to get to. Or much like Tojo Yamamoto would, taking toothpicks and putting them under his toenails.